We've got a special guest here, Star Hansen, and she's a professional organizer. She's an author. She's been on all kinds of TV shows. She's been on podcasts all over the country, and she's here to share with us some really interesting secrets about ways that we can become healthier by organizing our stuff. So, hello and welcome, Star.
Oh, it's so good to be here with you, Angela. Thanks for having me.
I have hoarding tendencies. I grew up in a large home and we lived out on a farm. We lived way far away from all the stores. And this is way before
Yeah.
online shopping. So every time we'd go to the city, we would buy as much as we could. We'd store it up for a rainy day or whenever we
Yeah.
needed it. Because if you run out of something like shampoo, you just can't run to the store and get it because the store's 50 miles away. So
Yeah.
we would buy two of everything. So I have one for now and one for later, kind of a thing. And now that I live in a major metropolitan city and I live like 5 Walmarts are within driving distance of a 10-mile radius of my house. Like,
Yeah.
there's all the shampoo I'm gonna need right there. It's there if I need it.
Yeah.
And yet I have a tendency because of the way I was brought up to still buy 2. And I have to stop and say, "I don't need 2, I just only need 1." But I found for myself that over the holidays this year, I invited people over to the house. But what I said specifically on the invite was, "You're invited on this day. Please no gifts." And it's because I don't want any of the stuff you think I should have. I don't think
Yeah.
there's anyone on this planet that knows me well enough to buy me gifts I can use. And every year I get gifts and I'm like, wow, this is really thoughtful. I'll never use it.
Totally. And
And I don't want to say that to their face. I'm like, oh, thanks. Right. But yet I don't want it. I can't use it. And I'm going to turn around and regift it just as soon as they turn their head. I don't want the gifts. Do not give me gifts.
the thing I keep hearing in my head is, please come empty handed.
Right.
Because I think a lot of people were taught that coming empty handed is rude. And
I was taught that.
yes.
I
And
was taught
so
that. I
people are
gotta
going
bring
to
a loaf
bring
of bread or a bottle of wine or
something,
some kind of
anything, a little
goodies.
candle, or this. Let's normalize coming empty handed. And I will say, there's been a few times that I'm embarrassed of where I came empty handed because of what I do for a living and no one else did. And I got totally emotionally dysregulated and embarrassed by the fact that I was the only empty handed person. And it was so uncomfortable to do. And yet, in the practical world, like I know that 70% of the gifts that person got are probably never going to get used.
Mm.
And so, as much as I felt embarrassed and bad that I came empty handed, I also, from my perspective as an organizer and my experience as a human, is me having nothing is more of a gift than getting
Oh.
something that I have to do something with, because that becomes a burden.
I'm glad you brought that up because part of the challenge we have, it is the holidays. And so if somebody invites you over, you feel like you have to take a goodie or a bottle of wine or something. And so, like you said, you don't want to be embarrassed as a result of it. But here's the catch. The frustration is there are people that want to come see you and maybe they don't have the resources or maybe they don't know you well enough to know what it would be useful to you for them to bring. So
Mhm.
they're going through a stress as well that says, what am I supposed to take? Do they drink? Do they not drink? Are they friends of Bill? Or is this a good gift or a bad gift? Am I supposed
Totally.
to take some food? Are they gluten free? Are they sugar free? I don't
Absolutely.
know. And so there's all this weird stress that surrounds what am I supposed to do for it to be polite. But if right up front you say, please, no gifts, don't bring anything, just the pleasure of your company is like all we're asking for, come on over, we'd love to see you, and make
Yeah.
it very clear that's the boundary, then they're like, oh, I can just show up. And I go one step beyond to say, please don't dress up. I'm a very casual person. I want to see you in jeans and sneakers and something casual. We're going to have a casual conversation. And that's what I'm looking for. Please do not dress up. Do not buy anything fancy. Don't go out and spend a fortune on a wardrobe you're going to wear once. Do not do that. That's not cool.
Yeah. I'm remembering. So there's a book by Priya Parker that's sitting right there. It's called The Art of Gathering. And
Uh-huh.
it's such a great book. And it talks about setting the intention, a very clear intention for our gatherings. And what you're naming is, it's so beautiful because I think we are all conditioned to have this idea of how it's supposed to go or how it's going to go. And it's so helpful and loving to our guests when we tell them what we need and want from them really
Uh-huh.
clearly. And people are still going to bring gifts. There's still going to be a couple people who are like, she doesn't mean that. That's not real. So that will always be there because they're dealing with their own thing inside. But the more clear we can be, Brene Brown says, clearness is kind, clarity is kind. And that's what we really want to look at, is how do we make it so that people can just show up and they know what's going on? I get a lot of anxiety when I do something the first time. I want to know what parking is. I want to know what I need to wear. I want to know, is it a sitting or standing situation? Are you going to ask me to take my shoes off? What's going on? And
Mhm.
because I've been in all those situations, and it's so loving to support our guests and letting them know what we want and desire from the night. And it's not that we're not trying to be pushy. We're trying to help them feel safe and know how they can show up in the greatest state of ease.
This has been an amazing conversation. You guys, it's been absolutely awesome having you here. I want to say thanks so much. But in closing, Star, will you tell our listeners where they can go to find you?
Absolutely. One of the places that I've created for you is to go to starhansen.com/podcast. And that's HANSEN. And there you can download a free copy of my book. You can take the Listen to the Monster in Your Closet quiz to find out what monster is keeping you stuck in your chaos. And that's a great place to start because on my website, I have a ton of free resources for you to dip your toe in. I'm also on all major social platforms. So come hang out with me, ask me questions, and show up. It would be great to say hi to those who've watched this and listened in.
Thank you so much for your time. This has been amazing. Thank you.
Thank you, Angela.